Okay, hey guys, it's been a while, hasn't it? Now, I messed up a little because recently I thought that the next map was core sample, and core sample takes 4 hours, and I didn't have enough storage for that. Like, if you think I have enough storage for 4 hours on like lossless quality, then you're crazy. Uh, Painted in Tunnels, that was about half a terabyte in lossless. So I had to H.264 it to even get it on YouTube. But as it turns out, I don't need to do lossless to get 1080p quality. I thought I did, but you don't. Apparently, Indistinguishable does that as well, and barely changes the quality at all, in fact. Like, it shouldn't change the quality at all. The next map in the list is Caduceus, which is, it's it's the little brother of Evil Science. It's basically a smaller version of Evil Science. It's pretty short. It's comparable to the beta maps. A lot of people like Caduceus because it's like Evil Science but shorter. The lore behind this map is really fucked up, but it is a pretty decent map. Yes. This is a map that a lot of people actually like. Like, not the unnecessary bullshit that the previous two maps or the previous three maps are. Like, there are people who sincerely dislike that map. I don't know anyone who doesn't like Caduceus. I sincerely don't. I don't know a single person who doesn't like this map. It's still pretty old, and you can tell that they haven't updated it that well because, again, a lot of the stacking items do that when you touch them. In modern maps, more modern maps that they've done more care and that they've done more TLC to, that doesn't happen, obviously. Like, I don't think you would ever see something like that happen in, say, Evil Science anymore. And you certainly wouldn't see that in a map like Vulcan Affair. Close the incinerator. The body bag. Damn body bag. Now, I remember when I was playing this map with another guy, he said that throwing the bullets in using the E key from over here is inherently slower than grabbing a bin. The problem is that throwing them in like this, you don't actually have to walk there, if you can aim properly at it. So it is inherently faster than putting it in a bin and just carrying it over, because you aren't walking there. You're mitigating the walking there and just pressing E every time you throw it. There is no way that a bin would be faster than that, considering you're pressing E and throwing in. You're completely removing the step where you walk over to the incinerator, making it slightly faster if you do it right, that is. If you're not doing it right, then it's obviously going to be slower. Most of the time that comes out of doing it is about picking it up and aiming properly. So, this is inherently faster by a couple of milliseconds. That's it. In fact, it's probably faster by exactly 2 seconds. That's my guess. And I'm pretty sure that's just a big fucking debate, but I know it's true because just because if you do the science and the math behind it, if you take out the middleman, it should be theoretically faster. Oh yeah, I got a new keyboard since the last time I played, so it might be a little louder than normal, and you might be able to hear it through the mic, even through my filter. So, don't be surprised if you hear that. because it's mechanical, and it's very clicky. What am I doing? There's already a water bucket here. There's already a bucket here. What am I doing? This is one of the maps that actually starts off the bucket outside the bucket machine. I don't really have much else to say about this map. I mean, I could talk about the lore of it and all, but it's a fucking snooze fest, and the general gist of it is that all 11 employees were infected with a virus, and for some reason, they're all counted as aliens. There's exactly the same amount of aliens in this map as there is bodies. There's the exact same amount of aliens and corpses on this map, meaning that every employee on this map was an alien. That is, if you count the PIDs. There's the exact same amount of PIDs as there is alien corpses. There's 11. Which means that all of the employees were most likely infected with an alien virus, and in fact that is the lore, because if you find the military data logs, you'll find that it is in fact talking about a virus, and they had to break through this sector to go find the cure to it. This map is really fucking messed up in that aspect. It's not as fucked up as a map like Revolutionary Robotics, but it is pretty fucked up. I don't think it's possible to top the absolute horror that is Revolutionary Robotics lore. In that map, the general gist behind what the fuck happened there was that a rogue AI broke loose, but it's not just any kind of AI. What they were doing was prototyping robots with human brains inside of them to control their AI. So you have these fucking hybrid machines, and you know, yeah, talk about a lack of talk about a lack of human rights and as well as fucking morals, because, in today's society, that would be illegal. And it just shows that in the game that Viscera is, the social system has been completely broken. It further shows that the world you live in has a very broken social system. Like, if you are a replaceable human, you get no rights at all. You get nothing. And that is shown in not only Revolutionary Robotics, but also in Upringsing. Because in both maps, you have this thing going on with people who are in a lesser area who aren't so big in the world, and they're being manipulated and abused. So, yeah, basically, those AI went rogue, and that's what happened. The prototypes went rogue. And that is the lore of Revolutionary Robotics. Like, it is insane how fucked up some of the maps get when you look into the lore of them. And like, the thing is that the devs did so well with building a fucking story in these maps that it's very easy to tell what the hell went wrong if you just read the fucking data logs or the notes. You can tell exactly what happened at what point. And it is very impressive that they managed to do something like that with so little information. This is actually one of the maps that I haven't actually played very much. Like, this is a map that I haven't done very much at all. Like, this is one of the maps that I haven't done, that often, for some reason. This is literally one of the only maps I have played, like, maybe 10 times? The only exception to that is Penumbra. I've played Penumbra 3 fucking times, all the way through. And I hated every single time I've played that map because fuck Penumbra. Like, screw Penumbra. Fuck Penumbra. It's such a bad map. Like I said, like I said in the Penumbra episode, the only good aspect to Penumbra is its ambient horror. That's literally it. That's the only good thing I can say about Penumbra. I'm not actually sure if this map has a bob nut. I don't think it does. If there is a bob note, I'll point it out, but as far as I'm aware, there is no bob note in this map. I haven't actually played this map enough to remember if there's a bob note in it or not. Like, if you're talking about, like, a map like Evil Science, which I've played, like, 10 or 20 times, or, no, I've played that map at least 15 to 20 times, I can definitely tell you that there is a bob note in that map, and I know exactly where it is every fucking time. It's in the locked room, in one of the corners. But, like, a map that I'm not so familiar with, like, fucking... Well, I'm actually pretty familiar with a lot of the bob maps. Like, they're all very iconic. There are a couple of exceptions where the bob notes aren't very... where the bob maps are not very iconic, but most of them are indeed iconic. Most of the time, it's the maps that don't have a bob note in them that are forgotten about often. Because people don't remember them nearly as fondly. Because there's nothing really special about them. There's rarely ever anything special about a map that doesn't have a bob note. So yeah, this map shouldn't take too long and should serve as a test to make sure that I do, in fact, not need lossless quality. It's not like this map has anything very interesting about it anyway. Like, there's nothing too interesting about this map. It's your generic fucking Evil Science clone. And I mean, like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with another Evil Science. There really isn't. It's a good map. There's no reason why there shouldn't be 80 million fucking Evil Science maps on the workshop either. Like, yes, there are so many of them, but there's no reason not to. Evil Science is by far one of the best default maps in the game. It is just that good. It's a good default map. That's why the fucking reason why people like it so much is because everything is fucking white. There's a clear difference between something that is dirty and something that is clean in an Evil Science map. This also works with Revolutionary Robotics and as well as Core Sample, but I haven't seen many Core Sample based maps. I have not, and I wish there were more, because Core Sample is also a pretty good map, even though it's excruciatingly long. It's a good map. The stacking is a pain in the ass, but it's a very good map. Like, Core Sample, by far, has the hardest stacking in the game. It literally outmatches, Unrefinery, and if you thought Unrefinery was fucking hard, oh boy, you are not ready for Core Sample. Core Sample's fucking stacking is on an entire other fucking level. It is so brutally challenging that most players hate the map specifically because of its stacking. It's not even the fucking mechanic that it introduced. It's literally just the stacking that pisses a lot of players off about it. And, I mean, I can understand why. It's super cramped stacking with a unique geometry item that you need to stack. And because the physics in this game is so horrible, and the fact that there's 134 crates in the map, it just ends up being a fucking nightmare. Items just start having a fucking seizure throughout the entire goddamn stacking process because the game wasn't built to handle that many collisions at once. But you want to know something stupid about this fucking game? You don't even need 3 crates touching each other to have shit go wrong. If 2 crates are touching each other, they can freak out. And I've had it happen before with boxes. You know, a item that it shouldn't be happening with because it's a generic fucking shape. It's a cube. And it's happening with a fucking cube. It's happening with a fucking rectangular prism. And you're telling me that somehow the game can't handle 2 of those colliding with each other, one stacked on top of the other. I don't fucking believe it. But I think that the UE3 physics engine is officially the worst physics engine ever made. Like, it is so hard to create a physics engine that is worse than UE3 just because of the fucking fact that it can't even handle 2 square collisions. It's a fucking mess. Like, how? I am genuinely flabbergasted at the fact that somehow, somewhere, the fucking UDK physics engine, or UE3 physics engine, decides to go, I'm feeling it today, and decides to, literally break when you put 2 fucking boxes on top of each other. And I mean, like, it's just 2 boxes on top of each other. Every other item near it is approximately 5 UDK editor units away, which is a pretty fucking significant distance if you know about the UDK editor. So this is clearly not an issue where objects around it are interacting with it, because there's no physical way that they're touching each other. Now that I think about it, I think this map does have a bob node. I believe it's in this room. Yeah, it's right here. I think this is the bob node. Yeah, this is the bob node. This is the Caduceus bob node. Put that in the trunk real quick. I think that just shows how shitty my memory is. Oh, chip bag. You know, this map doesn't actually have that much trash in it, which makes it even more similar to Evil Science, because I don't think Evil Science has that much trash either. Like, some of the maps in this game get super fucking trashy. Like, there is a lot of trash in some of these maps. But, Evil Science and Caduceus are not one of them. There's not that much trash in these maps. Most of it's just jibs. I tend to go by two rules. If you like Penumbra, you're a fucking lunatic. If you hate Evil Science, then you're a dumbass. And that's just because the two maps are pretty much, Evil Science is the only map that is genuine. It is the map. If you think of Viscera Cleanup Detail, the first map that should come to mind is Evil Science. Because that is the map. That's the map that everyone thinks of. Because it is a classic. It is a classic, definitive answer to what Viscera is. And Penumbra, I don't think I need to explain why if you like Penumbra, you're a fucking lunatic. It's literally, it's just a shitty map. It's so fucking black. It's so fucking dark that I genuinely don't fucking think that it is possible to have fun in that map. And I may remind you that an optimal speedrun of that map means placing no fucking lanterns. Because that wastes precious time. And it's a fucking it's a pitch black map. You could literally play a black screen, you could literally put a black screen over the game and just play Penumbra's audio. It would be no fucking different from actually showing the goddamn screen. It's genuinely just that black half the time. And that especially goes for in the tunnel. If you don't know, I have two monitors. One of them is a modern monitor that is a lot brighter, and the other one is a older monitor that has a lot less saturation and is higher than my normal monitor. So it is an extremely dark monitor, and I can't see, and on my Penumbra video, I just looked to see, and yeah, I can't see shit. And that's not just a problem with my monitor being above me. This also happens on my tablet. And yes, I tested it on my tablet too, because I wanted to know how it fucking looked, and it's pitch black. You literally can't see anything. And that might have to partly do with YouTube compressing the shit out of dark colors specifically. But still, what the fuck? I genuinely don't know how people could fucking like a map like that. Oh, not to mention, it has walls and floor, pretty much complete polar opposite to something like Evil Science or Revolutionary Robotics. Instead of the floors and walls being nearly spotless, they are the fucking dark and dingy walls similar to waste disposal, which is also a really dark map, but at least it's not pitch fucking black. I'll give it that. But yeah, Penumbra, gameplay-wise, it's, shit. Recording-wise, it's a fucking nightmare. It's literally so fucking dark that recording it is pretty much completely fucking impossible. The player will be, like, the viewer will be able to, will be unable to see much at all, and they will rarely ever be able to see anything very clearly, just because of how dark it is and YouTube compressing dark color. Like, yeah, this game is good to record and things. Like, this game runs really well with OBS. Like, this game works extremely well with OBS. Like, it doesn't fuss about OBS at all. It likes OBS. But Penumbra in general, it's just horrible to record. It is, even if I boosted the fucking gamma, like the actual gamma of OBS by 50%, you still would be in complete darkness. You still wouldn't be able to see shit on YouTube just because of how badly it compresses dark colors. And this has been a very well-known issue, and pretty much every major YouTuber who's had to play a very dark game acknowledges this. So, what they try to do is they try to boost the gamma and shit. But what happens when you get a map that is... But what happens when you get a game that is so fucking dark that even if you boost the fucking gamma, the screen is still black? That's the problem with Penumbra. It doesn't matter how far you boost your gamma. The map stays black. So it becomes this recording mess. It's not only just a horrible fucking map to play, but it's also just the goddamn fact that it is so relentlessly dark that it doesn't show up good in video, no matter how hard you boost your gamma, because the map is mostly black. There is so little light throughout about 80% of the goddamn map that even if you boost the gamma by up from 75, which is my normal, to 200, it still won't show up clearly. Most of them, about 75% of the map, will still be black, because the fucking map is intended to be pitch fucking black. That's the problem with it. And yes, there are custom maps that do include pitch black sections. I have nothing against that. But when you create a map with the entire purpose being around the map is fucking pitch ass fucking black, I'm sorry, but that is a horrible idea. And there's no way to fix the darkness. In most of the custom maps that feature very dark sections, there's usually a way to turn the lights back on. I can give many examples where the lights can be turned back on in pitch black sections in custom maps, because, you know, they were actually fucking thinking. And I'm not saying that the Viscera devs weren't thinking, they were experimenting. And that's a good thing. This is a good thing. They're experimenting. There's nothing wrong with experimenting. But when you get a doozy of a map that nobody enjoys, you should head in a different direction. And that's exactly what they're doing with the sequel. They're not... If they make it into a full-fledged sequel with new maps, I guarantee you they're not going to pull another Penumbra. Because they actually listened to feedback on the Discord. They're probably not going to be doing that again because it received such massive negative feedback that there is no reason why they should do it again. Of course, that's all speculation, because the game is still in early development, and we don't exactly know if it's going to turn into just a UE5 port, or is it going to just become its own separate game? Like, if it's going to just become, like, a sequel to the official game with new maps and all of that. And yes, it would be nice to see a whole brand new set of new maps to play, because, if you didn't know, a game like this can get kind of repetitive, boring, perhaps. God damn it, I fucking cut my recording accidentally. Yeah, I didn't really do anything, I just walked a little, but... Jeez, that's gonna look fucking horrible. That's just gonna look awful! Fuck! I need to separate my mute button from my fucking record button, because I have the two separate hotkeys for that, and they are literally right next to each other. So I may accidentally fat finger one, which is a bad thing. Where's the J-Harm again? Actually, no, I remember where the J-Harm is. It's over here. The fucking jump cut that's gonna happen just because of the fact that I accidentally fat finger that fucking button. Oh man, it's gonna look awful. Thank God this map isn't actually that big. Like, everyone's seen this map, and there's nothing too interesting about it. It's just a smaller Evil Science. Again, it's literally just a smaller Evil Science. The same walls, same floor, same ceiling, same fucking models, same everything. You know, it's just a little smaller. Need a bucket. Come on. Of course it gave me the literal smallest jib, which made it very hard to time the grab. Cool. Doesn't matter, I can reach them all from here. Okay, go back down and into this hallway. I bring the bin in, so, or actually no, I gotta first empty the bin because the bin's too full. Do that real quick. Let the dissected man explode. Oh, beta jibs, my beloved. That is, actually a joke. I don't like the beta jibs that much. There are two beta jibs which are an issue. I hate the torso and I hate the shoulder. I have problems with both of them for different reasons. What am I even doing? I won't fit. Like, gee, what am I thinking? I mean, it is late, but what am I thinking? Oh yeah, you can really see the shoulder jank going on right there, what I just did. Holy fuck, that was weird. Basically, the origin point of the shoulder jib is offset from the rest of the fucking jib. So what happens is that it gets offset. So basically what happens is that when you grab it, it doesn't grab it by the center, it grabs it by a weird point that doesn't even physically exist. Stop giving me that jib, please! I fucking can't grab that jib! Oh my god! I am fucking off with the timing. Oh my god, a jib that I can actually fucking do? No way. 4. 4. Imagine I get 6. Okay, no, I didn't get 6. I was about to say, if I got 6, I would have been like, oh man, I got the fucking max roll. Oh. If you didn't know, most vending, or most machines in the game can only give you a jib 6 times in a row. Any more in the actual game will go, nah, that's gotta actually be a bucket, because I don't want the player to be really pissed off about getting them getting a 7th jib in the fucking row. So nah, I'm gonna force you into a bucket, sorry mate. Yeah, that's basically what happens in the background if you get 6 jibs in a row, if the 7th one turns out to be a jib. It kind of just goes, screw RNG, give the guy a fucking actual bucket so he can play. Because this is a little absurd. So basically, they found a way to mitigate RNG fucking the player over indefinitely. Because you will eventually get a bucket and it will always happen on the 6th if you just happen to be... It'll always happen on the 7th if you just so happen to be so unbelievably unlucky that you get 6 jibs in a row. And I mean, like, that requires some insane bad luck. Like, that is absurd bad luck if you manage to do that. I did not mean to smash that, but whatever. Funny. Now, you see why bin reuse is still very fucking useful, even if it does that shit. If it spills, you can kind of just pick everything up off the ground, toss it back in with the E key, and it doesn't take that much time at all. That's why bin reuse is still useful, even if it does that. Even if it did that 100% of the time, it would still be faster than to just grab a new bin every fucking time. Okay, now I see why people hate these sometimes, but, like, jeez. If you're stepping on them, why are you stepping on them? Put them on something that you're not going to be standing on. Give me the jibs. I don't want the useless shit. I want the jibs. Now, I will say that the Viscera is actually pretty good at displaying what I would like to call environmental horror. Environmental horror is a type of indirect horror that relies on the environment to scare the shit out of the player. It does shit that isn't necessarily direct, like say the ambience in the background on this map. It can scare the shit out of you if you don't know what the fuck that is. And Penumbra is a perfect example of ambient horror in Viscera because, again, it is the best example of ambient horror in the game. It's a unknown horror. You can hear an unknown horror in the background in pretty much complete darkness, and that can define ambient horror pretty damn well. The fear of the unknown. There are other types of ambient horror, but the fear of the unknown does get pretty fucked up when it comes to ambient horror. Like, the fear of the unknown is one of the most preyed upon types in Viscera. Because you never know what the fuck is making the noise outside of your sector. Like, it could just break in at any moment and fucking annihilate you. Because you have nothing to defend yourself. I didn't mean to slap that bucket. Man, I must be super fucking tired if I'm doing shit like that. I mean, it is late. Like, it's pretty late for my normal time, but you know, whatever. And the funny thing is that we're actually almost done with this map already. Like, we're genuinely almost done with it. Most of what's left is stacking and bullet holes. But yeah, very quick map. I wish I knew that this was before Core Sample. But you know, nobody's perfect. I know a lot about this game, but I'm still a little bit messed up on some things. Like, yeah, the order of the fucking maps in the menu. Like, yeah, I've played the map. Like, I've played the game for 2,000 fucking hours, but I still don't remember the order of all the maps, which is funny. That's an interesting noise. I've never actually heard that one before. I actually do know what that noise is, but I've never actually heard it used in ambient before. If you're curious what that noise is, it's the noise that the vending machine makes when it's vending something.
I think the military was a little too trigger happy in this map, honestly. Like, that is a lot of bullet holes. You know, I forgot how long the stacking takes in this map.
Right, there's two separate crate stacking zones. One of them is for these regular crates, and one of them is for the medical crates.
I can understand why people don't like stacking. It just takes so fucking long. But you know, it can be rewarding if you're going for like a higher percentage. I think a medical crate just magically disappeared because if you saw that medical crate, it was floating. I'm not yeeting because I just don't feel like yeeting. If I was yeeting, it would take significantly less time to do this, but whatever. That's just the bottom note. The bottom note does count as trash, so I need to move it where I know there isn't any trash. Which is the end over here. There is absolutely no trash over here. Right there. We're good. Hey, we're done with trash. Okay, we should probably save now. Clock off. Wait, I forgot to close the incinerator. Of course I gotta close the incinerator. Yep, gas workers charcoal. Anything else though? I don't see anything else, so it should be as simple as exiting the office, going back, closing the incinerator, and then yada 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 yada. Alright. Now that that's done, throw one down the hole because it's not good. There you go, 103%. Both of them 103%, but this one has one less note. God damn it. I gotta put that back. That was really easy. Okay. Put this there. Alright, that'll be it. Yeah. Good.